everyone, and welcome to Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today, I am doing a book haul for you guys. Normally this would be a haul slash unhaul, and I know I have books that I want to unhaul, but right now, I don't feel like putting them all off my shelves. So that might be another video for another time, because this coming up weekend, I'm going to be out of town. Right now, I just don't feel like unhauling books right now. I know I need to, and there are books I could definitely get rid of. However, I'm saving that for another time. So today is just a haul, because I want to show you guys the books I have recently gotten, and there's quite a few. I hauled 14 books. Part of April going into May. So let me just show you the books that I have recently gotten, because I'm real excited for these. So we're going to start with the first book. We have 5 Broken Blades by Mai Cortland. And this came with its sprayed edges, which I am super happy about. And then the dark at the bottom. And then when you open it, the end pages kind of look like this, where it says, "Let the best liar win." And then look at the front cover. The hardback itself is absolutely stunning. Isn't that stunning? I cannot get enough. And I am in love with this gold foiling. And not only that, but this sounds so good. So, let me tell you what it says, because I'm not going to do a very good job trying to summarize. So it says, the 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective: to kill the god King June. He has it coming. Under his merciless immortal hand, the nobles flourish, while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the 5 blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness, from the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. None can resist the sweet, icy lure of vengeance. They can agree on murder. They can agree on treachery. But for these 5 killers, each verse in deception, lies, and betrayal is not enough to forge an alliance. To survive, they'll have to find a way to trust each other. But only one can take the crown. Let the best liar win. I'm hoping maybe I can fit this in for the Amazing Readathon coming up in June, because that would be awesome. Because it sounds amazing, and I so want to read this, so I'm very excited for that. And then next, I'm briefly going to go over these, because I did these in another video. I did my Book of the Month unboxing for May, so I'm just going to briefly go over these, and then you can go check out my Book of the Month unboxing video. So I used my credit on The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, and I am very excited for this one. I've read other things by this author and have really enjoyed them. Well, actually, both. Christina Lauren's actually 2 authors. So, they just combine their names together, basically. But I am very excited to read this one. It sounds amazing. And then, I also added on 2 extras. We have Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth, and The Soulmate by her as well. And they both sound really good. I'm hoping to fit at least one of these in for June, because I'm doing Camp Nightmare by Lake Thrills and Chills. Now I'll link the announcements for both hosts down below if they want to check out Camp Nightmare. One of the prompts for the bingo board is water on the cover, and they both have water on the cover, so I just get to decide which one I want to use. So I figured both could work, and maybe one of them could be for Amazing Readathon. We'll see. And then I also picked up Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. And I have read The Perfect Marriage by her and absolutely loved it. I also have another book by her on my shelf that I have not yet read. What's it called again? You Shouldn't Have Come Here, I believe is what it's called. But, which I still need to read. But I absolutely love this cover so much. I mean, look how cool this looks. It looks like a videotape on the cover. And it's like all crunched up and has some blood on it, which is kind of cool. And then my favorite part of this book, my absolute favorite part, is this hardcover alone. I mean, how cool that looks. It's so pretty, and I am obsessed. And I don't really know much about it, except that these siblings are kind of reunite to start out their mother's estate after she passes. And they find this collection of home videos and decide to revisit, kind of reminisce about past stuff. And one of the tapes they find, they don't have any recollection of, and something happens in that video, and they gotta find out if they should leave the past in the past or what. And it sounds fascinating. And I also love on the back, Mary Kubica blurbed this book, and I really enjoy Mary Kubica's writing, so it sounds promising. And Stacey Willingham also blurbed this book, and I love The Flicker in the Dark by her, so that also sounds promising. And Colleen Hoover even blurbed it, and I read a lot of Colleen Hoover and enjoy her writing, so that it just sounds like it's going to be an awesome book, and I cannot wait to dive into this story. Then I also grabbed, this was a pre-order actually, and I got it delivered to me. It's Powerful by Lauren Roberts, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I was hoping the hardcover would have something on it, because most of the exclusive editions do, but this one doesn't, which is kind of sad. But I am excited to have this because I loved Powerless so much, and this is a Dina story. And I am definitely looking forward to seeing how a Dina story goes. And then Reckless comes out in July. I think it's like the beginning of July. And I pre-ordered Reckless, I believe. So I'm very excited to have all the books. And I'm very excited to read about Adina, that is. So I'm looking forward to reading that. And it's like a short little novella, so that won't take long at all. And then I also picked up a couple of books. I went with my friend Dana to Barnes & Noble, and I had some rewards, which I ended up using for both of these books. They were buy one, get one half off. I picked up Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night by her and absolutely loved it. And so I am definitely looking forward to reading more of her. I wanted to pick up the Ash and the Star-Cursed King, I think it's called, as well as a novella from that series, Six Scorched Roses, and I have not gotten them yet because when I went to Barnes & Noble, they didn't have them. Or maybe they're just not traditionally published yet. But I do really want to get them because I know the third book in that series comes out sometime this year, at like the end of the year or something like that. And I want to read more of her because I absolutely enjoy the first Serpent and the Wings of Night so much. So I'm excited to check this one out and see what I think. I know there's vampires. I think there's vampires in the title. And I'm very excited to check this one out. And then also from the buy one, get one half off sale, I picked up The Witch and the Tsar by Olesya Salnikova Gilmore. This is a bit of a mouthful. And it sounded really interesting, actually. I don't know if anyone knows about the legend of Baba Yaga. Well, let me tell you this little thing that says at the top. It says, in his stunning debut novel, the maligned and immortal witch of legend known as Baba Yaga will risk all to save her country and her people from Tsar Ivan the Terrible and the dangerous gods who seek to drive the twisted hearts of men. So it's kind of, I don't know if anyone's heard of Baba Yaga at all, but because I love fantasy and I love historical fiction, especially when it takes place in Russia, I am all over it. Because I absolutely love stories that take place in Russia, especially when it comes to historical fiction. And this is like historical fantasy, basically. And it's right up my alley. Even Anastasia, who is part of the Romanov family, is kind of brought up in this story. I mean, it says it's like a rich tapestry of mythology and Russian history. And it's reclaiming and reinventing the infamous Baba Yaga and brings to life a vibrant and tumultuous Russia where old gods and new tyrants vie for power. So, and it says this fierce and compelling novel draws from timeless lore to create a heroine for the modern day, fighting to save her country and those she loves while also finding her true purpose as a goddess, a witch, and a woman. And I am all over it, so I cannot wait to read this. And this next book was gifted to me by my bestie Nikki from Nikki's Bookish Coven. Everyone that I know, except for Nikki, absolutely loved this book. My fiance read it, my friend Karina read it, and my friend Dana read it. And unfortunately, Nikki just didn't love it, but she gifted me her copy because she knew I wanted to read it. And that is Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I was going to get it for myself off of Book of the Month, but when she offered to send me her copy, I'm like, I'll take it. So I am very excited to read this because my fiance Ray absolutely loved it. He gave it 5 stars, and my friends Karina and Dana also loved it. And there's a podcast element, and even everyone like Ray, Dana, and Karina have all suggested that I listen to the audio along with it because of the podcast element. So I definitely will at some point because it sounds amazing. And I'm sorry, Nikki, that you didn't love it, but thank you for sending me your copy because I cannot wait to dive into this one. And then another book that I picked up for myself from Target is a book I haven't heard anyone talk about. It's a YA called A Whole Song and Dance by Sarah Venaz Tash. So that kind of works for like if there's a prompt in Amazing Readathon for, I can't remember, but if there's something that's related to that works for this book, I definitely would like to read this for the Amazing Readathon. Jeez, I can't talk today. What is wrong with me? Let me tell you a little bit about what it says. It says Najrin Mahdavi is a Broadway triple threat, but she's living a double life. It's her first semester majoring in musical theater at NYU's prestigious Tisch School of the Arts, and Najrin spends her days prepping for auditions, sweating through dance classes, and belting her heart out for the viral streaming show she's been cast in. But on calls with her Mayman and Baba, she's a golden child who put her theater dreams aside to follow in their entrepreneurial footsteps as a business major. At least her whole life isn't a lie. She is taking a single business course, except she's kind of failing it. Najrin needs to bring her grade up fast, so she's going to keep her parents in the dark. So she grudgingly signs up for tutoring with an infuriatingly smug and annoyingly attractive Max. And yet, as the semester rushes by, the sparks of anger that first flew between them start to turn into a very different kind of spark. The kind she definitely does not have time for. Except when Najrin's charming but devious cousin takes an interest in Max too. Najrin has to figure out exactly what has been an act and what's for real. Can Najrin decide what and who is truly worth fighting for and find a way to step into the spotlight as her full self? So maybe it's not YA. Well, it says young adult in this sticker up here, so I don't know. But it sounds really cute, and I love books that have to do with like auditions and musical theater. It's always been close to my heart with musical theater because growing up has always been one of my favorite things to do and participate in. I did a little bit when I was in high school and worked behind the scenes, so this sounds right up my alley and I cannot wait to give this one a shot. So I am definitely excited for that. And then the next book I picked up, as soon as I saw this at Target, I knew I had to have it because this has been a book talk sensation for ages, as well as Bookstagram, and it's been all over BookTube. I figured it's time that I dipped my toes into this series. So this is Gil, the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. Everyone seems to love this series, and I even wanted to try it out for myself. And as soon as I saw it in Target, I'm like, I need to get this book. So I know this is like a King Midas retelling, and it's fantasy romance. And I heard that the series gets better as it goes along, and I am so excited to finally pick this up. I'm also hoping to fit this into Amazing Readathon, if at all possible. I'm going to be going into it blindly, well, because I don't know much except that it's a King Midas retelling. And I love retellings, and it's right up my alley, so it's gotta be good, because everyone seems to be loving this series. So I'm very excited to pick this one up. And read it, of course. And then next, I got from Amazon, Dark Shores by Danielle L. Jensen. I read A Fate Aked in Blood by her and absolutely loved it. And I want to read more from her and read her backlist. And I wanted to read the Bridge Kingdom series. However, they're redoing the series, I guess? Or I'm not sure if it's being traditionally published or what it is they're doing exactly. But it's on pre-order on Amazon right now, so I guess they're redoing it, like as traditionally published is my guess, because technically the series is already out. But I assume they're doing new covers for it, so I can't get that right now, unfortunately. So I wanted to try something that I haven't read from her before, and this is the only series that was available I was able to find that was not on pre-order. And it sounds interesting. It says Tariana is the second mate of the Quincence, a ship beholden to the goddess of the seas. Her people are born of the waves, and they alone know how to cross the impassable oceans between east and west. Marcus is the commander of the 37th, the notorious legion that has led the Selendor Empire to conquer the entire east. The legion is his only family, but even they don't know the secret he's been hiding since childhood. When an Empire senator discovers the existence of the Dark Shores, he captures Tariana's crew and threatens to reveal Marcus's secret unless they sail in pursuit of conquest, forcing the two into an unlikely and unwilling alliance. They unite for the sake of their families, but both must decide how far they are willing to go and how much they are willing to sacrifice. And it sounds really interesting. And I am very excited to try another book from this author. And even at the top, Sarah J. Maas blurbed it. So I'm like, if Sarah J. Maas liked it, it's gotta be good. Because I am obsessed with Sarah J. Maas' Throne of Glass series. That has been my all-time favorite series. And if Sarah J. Maas liked this, it's gotta be good. So I am very excited to check it out for myself. And then the next book that I picked up was also from Amazon. And I got We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. The reason why I picked this up was because I saw a TV show based off of this on Hulu. And I decided I wanted to do a vlog on reading this and then watching it. And because it's a TV show, it'll take more time to watch the show. But I am very interested in reading this because it takes place during a time that I am interested in. It's in 1939 in Poland, and it's basically during the World War II time and issues with like what they did with the Jews and all the different. Well, apparently this one's supposed to be very emotional. And it's basically during that time frame. And this sounds like it's something I could really enjoy. So I love historical fiction, especially during World War I and II. Those are like my favorite time periods to read from. So I am very interested in seeing how this one is because I've heard nothing but great things. And now that there's a TV show, I think it'd be a great video project to do by reading it and then watching it. So stay tuned for that. I don't know when I'll get to it. I'm hoping over the summer. Because I really want to read this. And it sounds great. And it's supposed to be very emotional. So I'm looking forward to reading it. For sure. And then the last book in this haul that I picked up was A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I picked this up on National Book Day. Because you have to celebrate National Book Day by buying a book, right? So, I've never read from this author before. I know 7 Days in June, I think it's called, it was probably like her debut, and everyone loved it. And I didn't see that one in Target when I picked up this one. So I decided to go with this one, and it sounds very interesting. It's supposed to be like a modern fairy tale of two passionate artists drawn to the magic and romance of New York and whose lives are irreversibly linked, and it's set against a backdrop of contemporary Harlem and 1920s decadence. So that sounds really interesting. I've never read anything about her before, and normally like literary fiction is not my jam, but this is more contemporary, not instead of literary. So I've heard nothing but great things. So I'm going to try my hand at it and see if I enjoy it. I'm really hoping to, because from what I've heard, she's an excellent author, and I've never read her before. Well, I've said that. But I am excited to try my hand at her writing and see if it's something that I will enjoy. And so I'm definitely looking forward to trying out this book for myself and see what I think. So, and I will definitely tell you all my thoughts when I get to it. So another book to add to this book haul is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I collected this intentionally for the Patreon book club that I'm doing with Just from Honest Fiction. We read it in the month of May, and I decided to pick it up physically. Actually, I pre-ordered it, and before it actually came out traditionally. But it's a thick one. Look at how huge that is. There's 690 pages in this thing. So probably will wait to read this till like the end of the month, most likely. But I am very excited to read this and see what my thoughts are on it, since it's been going through BookTube like crazy lately. So I will update everybody once I manage to get this read. But it is one of the books that I've just recently hauled. So that's everything I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all next time.